Okay, welcome again. This is our third look at Genesis Day 1. And you'll recall we looked at the first verse and the beginning of the second verse last time. Just go over that quickly. Anarkehi epoiesen hoteos ton oranon kaiten gehin. In the beginning he created, the God did, the heaven and the earth. Edegehi ein ha horatos kai hakatas guastos. And the earth, she was invisible and uncontained. And now we'll continue with a couple more lines here. Kai skotos epanu teis abuso kai pneuma teo epereto epano to hudatos. Okay, so you'll notice we've highlighted the nouns in yellow, and we're going to look at those first. And the first one you see there is skotos, and we'll copy that into our chart below, and that goes in here. Let's put a space before that. Whoops, before we insert it. And let's make it a little bit smaller so everything fits properly. Okay, we're gonna make it, I forget what the size we should make it, 18 maybe? That's too small. Okay, now let's make it 20. Alright, that's about right. And the word means darkness. And now our second highlighted noun, abusos. I'll throw in here. And we'll make it a little smaller as well. Okay, our third noun, pneuma. Breath. And I just realized I made a mistake, another mistake. It happens the odd time. First of all, let's put that at 20. Okay. You'll notice abuso has a funny ending. So it doesn't belong in this box. This is the box for focus nouns. Let's cut that. And let's put it in this box here. There. However, now I gotta play with this to get it properly centered. Yeah, this is space before, space after, remove space after. I don't know what's doing here. Space before, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'll play with it later. Anyways, we'll eventually get that corrected. Okay. And you'll notice we've come across a word after pneuma. Pneuma. We've got another word that looks familiar. To I'm wondering if maybe I'm jumping too far ahead. Let's go back to Scotus. In darkness. Let's do the translation. And how big was the translation? I was using 18 for the translation. Okay. This is a regular and. Okay, I could say darkness with a capital, or not to personify it. Now we've got a word epano, and this is similar to a dimensional. Let's review our dimensionals. En means in, ana means up, kata means down, epi means upon, or on top, or over top. And we have another class of verbs that is related, verb modifiers, that tell you where or where to. Ano means upwards or above. Kato means downwards or below. And epano means upwards over top, upwards on top, high upon. What about the high upon? Something like that. Anyways. So I'm going to, because, okay, let's look at teis, apusos. So we've got the word the here in a form which we'll call separating. That's how you spell it. Right. So let's add the noun to it. Not the noun, the word the to the noun. Alright, let's unhighlight this part. Should have added a space here. And it doesn't fit, so let's make this a little A little bit bigger. That didn't help. All right. Okay. So there's this case is a separating case, and abusos means abyss, or let's look at our vocabulary here. It's part of the second group, and even though it has a Omicron sigma ending, it's actually a feminine. You can tell that by the word the, which is the feminine version of the in the separating case. And you'll remember the a, the initial a, means like un, and the rest of the word means fathomable depth. So abusos is the unfathomable depth, sometimes called the deep, just plain deep, but can also mean bottomless pit, or if you're thinking in terms of modern physics, you can call it a black hole. And some scientists will argue that black holes may be associated with creation and the Big Bang. So that's an interesting perspective. All right, so now let's do the translation. Oops, where did I go here? Darkness up. Okay, we can say something like that. And darkness up over top of the unfathomable deep. And you can assume that the word was is in there, but it's not actually there. So you could say, and darkness was up over top of the unfathomable deep. Or you could say upwards. Over top of the unfathomable deep. Okay, pneuma. There's no word the here, no specifier, so it's a breath. Let's find it. Okay, it's in the, as I said, there's three groups of, all the Greek nouns are divided into three groups, and this is actually a third group. Pneuma is a thing blown, or a breath, or a breeze, and it became known as a spirit. And the English word pneumatic comes from that word. And the Greek verb related to it is pneo, meaning to blow or to breathe. And related words are pneumon, which means lung, and the English word pneumonia is related to that. And the phrase pneuma to hagios. It shouldn't say hagios, it should say hagion. Whoops. There we go. The on ending is the neuter ending because pneuma is a neuter word. Okay, that means the Holy Ghost. So in our phrase here, kai pneuma teo. Now teo is similar to a word we've seen before. Teos, teon, it belongs in here. And the Omicron epsilon is the ending. Just try to center everything. All right, so this all these cases can have different classifications. This is actually, I said before, these endings can be for separating. They can also be for relating. So in this case, it's relating. So we go back here to the translation. And a breath of a god. And now we get to a verb. And let's go look at the vocabulary. Verbs. There we go. Okay, so it's a past durational, and there's 3 different modes of a verb. It can be acting, so that means the the focus noun gets the verb in an acting mode. Or it can be self-centering or reversing. Reversing means the focus noun becomes the object of the verb. The verb acts upon the focus noun, so it's reversed. And self-centering means the focus noun is acting upon itself, or acting in its interest. So it's kind of reflexive, or to or for its own interests, to itself or for itself. So there's two possible in the past durational. There's no distinction between the self-centering or reversing, so you have to make your own judgment call. You'll notice that the word, you can pull it apart and it becomes epi, like the I gets, the iota gets dropped. Epi, upon, and pero. Pero means carry or bring or bear. So translation would be, it was carrying itself upon, or it was being carried upon. So where's the chart? The verb chart is here. The base verb is pero, and the past durational self-centering or reversing is eperito. So we have to make a decision here. And we're going to decide that the breath of God has agency. So it was carrying itself upwards, over top of, and now we've got a new word, tohu, hudatos, and we'll put our word, we'll put the whole thing into the proper space, which is also separating. And we'll make it a little smaller. Let's see if we can make that a little wider. All right. Alright, we don't really need the highlighting here. That was centered nicely. So, okay, so you guessed it. That means the water. And the base noun starts with the same three letters. And since it's not part of our vocabulary, we're gonna unhighlight it. In other words, it's not part of the text. And the ending is, go back to our vocabulary and you'll see it. Hudor. No, hudor. Hudor. Okay. Water. And so some English derivatives, hydro or hydrogen, and some other interesting Greek words that related that have the word connected with it. Hydraulos is a water pipe. You get the English word hydraulic from that. Hydraulis with a iota instead of an omicron. That's a water pipe organ that was invented, I think it was invented in Alexandria around the same time the Genesis was written in Greek. And klepsydra, which means water thief, which was a colloquial name for a water clock. I guess time is like a thief. Takes you out of the present in little time, in infinitesimal time. It brings you into the future. So you lose the past. All right. So finishing off our translation over top of the water. And darkness upwards over top of the unfathomable deep, and a breath of a god was carrying itself upwards over top of the water. Okay, I think that covers it for today, and we'll continue in the next one. See you then. Bye for now.